Yeah, absolutely. So you guys are dating, and now it comes to the point where I'm guessing he says, "Will you marry me?" Is you Jamie had been married before? Were you ready for this, or did you have to get yourself ready?
Well, on our first date, he asked me, I mean, he wasn't playing around. On our first date, he asked me if I'd be willing to have more children, just potentially. Um, and so,
Scare him away early, Cornell. If it's not the one, then I didn't care at that point.
anyway, I mean, it was like a 7-hour date in all fairness. And we just kept changing what we were doing. And we were just having so much fun together. So I think that it didn't matter what thoughts or preconceived ideas I had about what anything was going to look like from that moment on. I was like, words kept coming out of my mouth like, yeah, sure. Or like, yeah. And I thought, wow, what is going on? And I knew very, very early on, I knew that this guy was wrecking me. I'm like, wow, he's bringing down and changing everything, And again, that also sounds like a cliche. People say, oh, well, when I met, everything changed. It totally did. All the rules were different. Everything was different. It just progressed in a different way. And we traveled a lot. We still do travel with our whole family, but every time we would go away, all of my friends and family members would be like, did he ask you to marry him yet? Did he ask you? And it was so funny because everybody had this expectation like, well, if this man that you're spending so much time with keeps taking you away, surely it's because he's about to ask you to marry him. So I was ready. I feel like he was in my spirit for a very long time before he ever materialized. And so I think when it showed up, I'm like, there you are.
Nobody knew, Cornell, my big plan of giving her the note that described her till August 17th. So I probably would have done it months before, but I had to wait for that date.
Yeah.
With the date on the paper that described her.
Wow. What's so beautiful about your relationship, your marriage, is the fact that you have been in many ways able to merge your purposes together. And obviously that comes out with 18 Summers and the work that you guys do with other families. How was that process? Did you guys have to go through a stage where you had to learn each other's giftings and talents or skills, or how did that go for you guys?
It was so natural, Cornell. It was so unforced. We had just such an interest in what the other knew that we just had such long conversations and saw each other in action, whether I'd go into watching her run a school that she had started from 3 kids to 60 kids, and she'd come to an event that I was speaking at. We just were so interested. There was nothing forced.
I think we had both been through enough in life to be rather humble. And so I think that there wasn't a whole lot of, I'm going to show you, or let me teach you, or I need to look better than you so you know where you stand. There was none of that. Like Jim said, we were just kind of past that point of playing games. When you get a little older, you've just seen different things in life, like going through things like custody battles or 2008 market meltdown, various things that you experience in life really humble you to where you think, I'm just not going to play around. Like, I'm either here for the purpose or I have other things to do.
Well, and you left out a big part. Jamie actually retired herself temporarily early to support me because as if it wasn't enough, and we actually delayed our wedding for this, I donated a kidney to my father. But there's no way I could have done it if she didn't take care of me. It's a pretty big process you have to go through. And I said, hey, I really want to do this for my dad, and she said, well, I think I'm ready to step down from the school and let's make this happen. So that was, you want to talk about, we had just layer of this. And at the same time, her 2 young boys sat me down at the table and asked me to adopt them. And
but it was all tied to purpose.
Yeah, there was a lot of things there, but it really, we had some big things come to us that just brought us closer together very naturally and just
very humbling.
Yeah, humbling, but also just excited.